Okay, welcome to my podcast. The prompt that we were given is how children's literature shapes our understanding of the world as we grow older. So, I think that this is actually a very good prompt to be given to us because as we get older, our viewpoint of the world changes, our perspective on life changes as we mature. And we are freshmen in high school. We're not that mature, but we're working on it. So, as we mature, our viewpoints of children's books that may have taught us the stories of, oh, be kind and don't steal, like important life lessons that are kind of easy to understand. Well, now we can see them more in depth and get more out of these books. So I want to talk about A Tale of Two Beasts to start it off. So this is the first book that we read, and the girl didn't understand that the animal had feelings and that it wants to live in the wild, while the animal viewed the girl as someone kidnapping it. And he obviously didn't like that because no one wants to be kidnapped. But this kind of gave me the perspective. If I would have looked at it, I would have thought this just is a fun story, like to teach kids to not take animals out of the wild. Like when I was little, we used to go and grab toads and stuff and little garden snakes. It was all fun. But now looking back, it kind of teaches me the lessons that there's 2 points to every story. There's two viewpoints, and your viewpoint isn't always going to be the right one, or it's not going to make complete sense to other people. So another book that I would like to talk about is The Heart in the Bottle. So the girl puts her heart in the bottle to keep it safe and protect it. But as she goes on, she forgets how to bring her heart out of the bottle and start being able to feel love again, show love again. But as she goes on, she ends up starting to be able to bring the heart that's in a bottle around her neck and kind of remember how to bring it out of the bottle and start showing love again. And I think if I was little and I was looking at this story, I would have think it's oh, a good story to not always know when it's okay to be able to show emotion and when it's not always the best, but don't lock emotions down. And I would kind of view the same thing today, except that I would definitely see that maybe it's not always the best putting your heart. You shouldn't just put your heart out there. Keeping it in a bottle isn't necessarily the best idea, because that's just not a good idea. Okay, so the next one I would like to talk about is on The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. So I thought the story was actually really good, and I did read it when I was little. This was one of the only ones that I actually did read when I was younger. And I remember thinking that this was just a fun book, that also shows you two perspectives. Like the first book I talked about, which was A Tale of Two Beasts. And I definitely thought this book, reading it a second time, really gave me the perspective that the wolf he didn't see himself in the wrong. He was just trying to go about living kind of a normal life. And I just think it was really just different. There's two sides to every story. You can't always believe just one person. And I related this back to high school, actually, because I feel like in high school there's obviously a lot of drama and the back and forth. And as we grow up, we start to realize there might be more to the story than just one side of the story. And then the last book that I'm gonna talk about is What Do You Do with an Idea? So I actually liked this book a lot. I had a lot of actual questions about it because one of the questions I actually struggled with was, what did the egg and the crown symbolize? I couldn't really figure out why they picked an egg and a crown, but I came up with that it's just kind of an out of the box idea. Nobody really associates eggs and crowns. But I think this really changed my viewpoint in the world. Just being okay, maybe not everyone's gonna like your idea. Not everyone's gonna love you or like you. But it doesn't matter as much as long as you socially accept yourself. If you love yourself, it doesn't matter that much that people like you. So I think all these books had a very big role when I was little and kind of taught me like the basics. But now as I grow up and look back on them, I really see how the world is and like just like how my perspectives of the books have changed.